I just sat in on Search on 22, which was Google's um, focus on what the new products for search is coming out in the next year. Right before we had this meeting, I had it. So I thought we might talk about some of the things they mentioned.
Yeah.
This is bleeding edge stuff, and I'm never pursue the latest thing. I'm always a conservative person in terms of, let's see how this pans out before we start optimizing for it.
Yeah, like the algorithm updates when people panic because rankings tank in, like, but then that's just Google figuring it out.
Right.
And then over time, if you just keep doing what good SEO, you don't need to like go after the algorithm updates because that's your long-term goal.
Yeah. But here, what I find with these is it's like these are new technologies that I want to use, and sometimes they just totally forget about them and abandon them because no one uses them, right?
Yeah.
For instance, a lot of what they talked about this year in Search on 22 was what they call multi-search, which is the idea that searchers don't just want to enter a text into a box. They want to use other means to do Google searches, or I should say, use other means to find things. So voice search is a part of that, right? Image search, in the sense that you can upload an image to Google and say, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
And multi-search is where Google is going in the future. So, for instance, one of the fun things they did was someone did took a picture of a bagel, put it in Google search. Google identified that this is a bagel, and she typed the word purse after the word bagel. And Google found her a purse that looked like a bagel.
Whoa.
Okay. Also, you can do an image. Let's say you wanted a particular plant, like a plant because you're landscaping your yard. You saw it at the park. It's a beautiful flower. You take a picture of it and you enter the words "near me" after the image, and it could show you nurseries that have that plant in stock.
That's
right. So they're integrating a lot with multi-search. Another feature that they're talking about is shopping features. Now, they're mostly talking about like consumer products like fashion, stuff like that. But they're integrating things like, okay, your favorite celebrity wore this shirt. Google will identify what the shirt is that they're wearing and where you could potentially buy it near you. Okay, that's cool. But one of the things I thought was super interesting is Google's, it's almost going backwards. We use the words keyword to refer to like the words we put in the Google search, right? But you remember an old time in searches where they used to advertise, hey, enter the keyword this and you will find us, right? And you would almost rent a keyword on a search engine and it would send you to your website. Google is honing in, I wouldn't call it keywords, but like special modifiers that have special meanings. So like near me is a really good one, where you enter near me and Google knows you have local intent to that search, whether it's a bagel or a flower or a dress. Near me tells Google that's something special about the word near me. And it's not that the words near me appear on the text of the page, right? Google understands that word different. You don't have to have the word near me to rank for near me. But one of the things that they kind of mentioned but didn't seem to make a big deal is another modifying word like that called shop. So if you start your search query with the word shop and then enter a phrase. Shop handmade soaps. It's going to send you to a different kind of search result than you would if you just Googled handmade soaps. So handmade soaps might be like, how do you make a soap? What are the advantages of handmade soap? But if you add the word shop in front of your query, then it knows you want to buy that. So it would be really interesting to pay attention to that word shop and see, do you need to have the word shop on your page to be found for a Google shopping query for this? I'd suggest probably not, but we do know that Google is allowing, I'm a little foggy on this, but I'm pretty sure they're still doing this. They started this in the pandemic where they allow you to add a shopping feed organically to Google, not just for a paid shopping feature. So, you know how some websites will create a shopping feed and you can use Google Shopping and you can pay per click on those items? Google will allow you, at least they were during the pandemic, I think they still are, submitting it, and it will affect the Google search results for shopping. And so my suggestion is that the shop keyword modifier relates to organic shopping and probably pretty guaranteed paid shopping as well mixed in. So that's worth paying attention to. Another thing, because they're talking all about multi-search, is the multi-search categories are, voice and pictures, right? So we really have to be paying attention to pictures that we put on the websites. Gone are the days where it's just nice to have a picture for ease of look, right? It's just a lot easier than words. And stock photos, right, are kind of becoming obsolete. So having unique images on our site is going to be really, really important, especially for shopping. So if we're going to take advantage of, like, I want to buy this dress near me, or I want to, shop for this dress. If you have that dress on your picture on your website, Google might be able to find you.
Sorry, I'm making a note. I have a question. So, so when you're saying, like, unique images on your website, so, I think this kind of, I really believe in this completely, what you're talking about, because it also ties in with what they're doing, on Google Business Profiles, things I've seen recently with images. And so, I think the whole image thing is really important. And also, you were saying unique images. That's something that they have come out on the Google Business Profile saying, not to that you should upload your own unique images, and that they should be clear, and you should be able to see what it is and things like that, which is really important. So now for shops though, like, I know a lot of, I think especially like bigger shops, if people are doing things like, let's just say, call it drop shipping, and they've got inventory, a lot of them, these same shops have the same images. So are you saying that they're better to, like, even though they might put them all the stock images in to get something up to go in, and ones they can get unique images to do that?
This is so cutting edge, it's speculation at this point.
Okay.
I would suggest it probably would be worth your time to have a little bit different image.
Yeah.
Because it would at the very least, help you stand out in a bunch of people who have the exact same stock image on their website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Better if there's a human model wearing the clothes, if it's clothes. Right.
Yeah.
So the time and effort to create unique images is going to be huge. They talk a lot about maps in search on 22.
Okay.
And they did talk a lot about images in maps and using maps to search for stuff.
Yeah.
In the near me. So this brings up two important points. Number one, if you have only unique images in your Google Maps, you're going to be sending people to a Google product, not to your website.
Yeah, for ones that have products. I know a lot of my clients have services.
Right.
And so they'll either send them to a contact page or put a call now.
Right. Right. And that was another interesting thing on Search 22 was that everything was like products and consumer products at that, not B2B products and not services. So what will be really interesting to see is if we learn that, for instance, I feel that Google has been teaching us for years to use the word near me. Will Google teach us to use images to search for services?
Yeah.
And what will that look like? If I'm a plumber, do I need to have a picture of me doing plumbing? And will the AI be smart enough to understand that that's a plumber doing plumbing and not a DIY person doing?
So that's one of the things.
I gotta go, you guys. Keep on going.
Right. Okay, Dave. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Dave. I'll be really quick with this. So one of the things I know that a lot of people say, you know, sometimes putting things up on your website to run it through Google's AI to see what Google says. Like if you're doing like, you know, got a client, let's say like dentist. Well, what does Google see that that's a dentist there, or do they just see somebody smiling? You know, what is it? And so, yeah, I definitely think that that's important.
Yeah, yeah. And along while we're talking about images, it's just the idea that words still matter.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that everybody likes, but like adding alt text that's descriptive of what's in the picture is super important. The image, Google's ability to understand an image is really, really good at this point. But when it comes to services, it can help Google determine the difference between you selling plumbing fixtures and you selling plumbing services. Or you selling classes on how to become a plumber. Yeah,
for sure.
Right. And so that alt text is going to be important.
I also know that Google is trying to emphasize people that offer services to make sure that they are in the picture as well. For example, like let's say a pet sitter, to not just have pictures of lots of dogs, but to have pictures of you with the pets, with the dogs. I've even heard of clients having trouble on their accounts because Google would think with all those images of pictures that they're selling pets, and they're like, no, that's not at all, we're a pet sitter. So that's one of the things to make sure that you don't just get the item, but like, you know, somebody doing it, the pet sitter walking the dog, the plumber doing the work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's always been a good usability, not usability, but a good, you know,
customer experience
for like websites. People do better than things.
Yes.
You know.
And it's one thing I have a hard time getting clients.
Oh yeah.
To go on board with. It's like, yeah, but I don't want my picture up there. I'm like, but it will make you stand out. Right.
Well, you had a really good point recently when we pointed out that, you know, that someone's employees were having T-shirts wearing T-shirts from the business to kind of reiterate this as an employee.
Yeah.
So you saw what the employees look like, and you can see that these are trustworthy people.
Yeah.
And that's not even thinking about the search aspect of it, right? That's just thinking about, hey, we want people to know that, look at these friendly looking people. You'd feel safe with these people in your house, you know? And the last thing I'll mention from Search on 22 that I noticed is just how Google is pushing everybody to their apps.
Yeah.
They really want people to use the Google app and the Maps app. And so many of these features are connected to it.
Sorry. And it's kind of funny that they're doing that, and the Google Business Profile, formerly Google My Business app, is going away. But that's where the business does it.
Right,
But now you go into Google Maps and you can access it there. So yeah. Okay.
Yep. So anyway, search on 22. You can look it
Yeah.
up on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube. It might be worth it if you're
Yeah,
interested,
I'll
especially
definitely
for
check it out.
local.
I think it'll be helpful.
Yeah, it's only a 45-minute video.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of weird and creepy and big brotherly, and there's a lot of beautiful people with like unnatural smiles on their faces. It's just it's almost a parody of itself in a way.
Yeah.
But it was still, it's good to look at what's coming. I remember this happened a couple years ago, and they're like featuring things that never came to be. So don't take it as this is absolutely what's going to happen. But it's interesting to look at where they would like to see the future going.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much.